Good morning, good morning. Hey, what's up? What's crack-a-lacking? How you doing? How you doing, beautiful people? Of course, depending on what time it is that you'll be checking this out, it's a good morning for me on this Tuesday, the 20th of December, 2022. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. And this is just me frequenting coming through to be talking to you as promised. Of course, that there'll be a series of these Men Tech Unfiltered. So in case it's your first time you bump into this kind of one, just like and subscribe. And it's bread and butter, media house. You'll see there we've got a number of segments there, but okay, I'm not all about that now. My gripe this morning, is it a gripe even? I'm not even sure what to title it, but basically, with all that we're going through, the last video that we did, we were speaking about changing the world and just calling the masses to awakenness and consciousness of spiritual activities, what is happening and all that, and just national call for the righteous to stand up and join in the affinity circle of the elitist groupings of soldiers to fight for humanity. And of course, yes, that is picking up slowly, and but it's there. It's on record. It's on YouTube. You find it there for eternity to come. Nonetheless, this morning I'm coming on a total different topic. Just last night before I went to sleep, I keep hearing this repeating, unbreakable, unbreakable, unbreakable. It is then that I start to question that feeling that God, is this an incoming transmission? Are you talking to me about something? What is this unbreakable? And it is then that I hear the Spirit of God starting to speak to me and saying that, listen, you tell them, you yourself, first things first, you must be unbreakable. I say, oh Lord, can we delve more into this? And this is when I start to see this wonderful picture that I'm about to share with you this morning. So, but basically, so this morning when I went back to the same asking, the same ask, and God said to me, just title this one, Be Unbreakable. So you will note that there's a lot that is happening. I could even just default to my default settings, which is of course the biblical translations and depictions and all that into just fueling up to this title. And but also I do not want to become a bore to you and miss the message, thinking that this is church, because even if it was, there's nothing wrong with it, but just in the spirit of inclusivity, so as we can have just anyone walking in catching a word of wisdom and a word of knowledge here and there once in a while. So the best thing that I could do in this case is to speak of myself, to relate myself to the stories and all that. And I know that we are all going through so much in life. We go through the tribulations, the turbulences, the tribulations, trials and tribulations. We go through life. That is life in a nutshell itself. And, we cannot go through life without experiencing our life experiences typically. Where to even start with this being unbreakable? Maybe let me just start by putting it out there that I'm in fact unemployed. And there's a story there to it as well. But seemingly, sadly so, even for my counterpart spouse, my wife, whom was also senior at some point, very senior in a very big conglomerate at some point. But life has seemingly gravitated us to this end of life, where one is supposed to be constantly looking for answers and solutions in life to make it through the next day. Over a number of months back, or maybe weeks even, I was disturbed just to hear some people speaking of one guy in particular speaking of how difficult life was for him, that he never knew where his next meal would come from. And that gave me sort of a peep in through life surroundings, all that is happening, all that there is for us to be appreciative and grateful for, and all that to extend a hand of compassion and sympathy to, places where we where we are indebted to empathy. So yes, I don't want to confuse things. So just to basically come back and say, with all that is happening in life, you yourself, the stories that you go through in life. I mean, I've got stories for days to share for all that I'm going through in life. I mean, yes, and God was just saying, be unbreakable. So you will note, having now said that I'm unemployed, I've tried a number of things. So I'm also a recording musician. So what happened in this instance, let me maybe speak of my story of becoming a musician. So when I was a very young kid, I think I must have been 12 or 13, that's when my mother bought me my first keyboard. So I'm 39 now. In a couple of months I'll be 40. And I've since been a natural, it's since been an organic process in it. But in my strive for for recognition and for my music to break through over the years, I've come to face quite strong and resistful forces to this kind of destiny. And so much that a whole lot happened. People were dispatched and all that, to just come and sabotage this thing. I mean, that is equal to what was sanctioned to baby Jesus when the wise men of the East walked into the wrong house with Herod and all that. And so it was after that they left that the council sat, and Herod issued out a decree to kill every 2 years and young and all that. But that be that as it may, I survived all the weaponized sanctions that were instituted against me, and I stand today. I'm very complete and very whole and brave to even borrow from that lifetime experience in my life at some point. So yes. So that is what is going on. But now I'm 39 today, and I'm still busy with music, and I'm still an upcoming musician. And I know that it's a funny story, because most people would laugh and say at 39 is still a come up, dude. Leave it. I mean, I had one of my friends the other day just saying that man. Age is not on your side and all that. But I think music is incorruptible. I think music lives on with whichever age that one may produce. I mean, may do any, piece. There will still be a gem, because music is just that eternal. I think, and that makes me to say that I think I chose right in terms of my endeavor. So meaning that I'll be 60-year-old and I'll be dropping gems. So in case you missed it, you can check some of my music that I've got on the channel as well. There's a segment for that as well. And in some instances, I play some music in the background while I'm doing these videos. So yes, So yeah, that in itself, you can see that it's been quite a making. It's been quite multiple lifetimes, at it, and here I am, and that's why I'm grateful for life, thankful to God, and my ancestry, and just very appreciative of all of that. I've also seen that in some instances it's been very difficult for us to generate any sort of income and all that, but for some reason we have survived the ordeals, I guess, money bound ordeals that we were faced with for the year 2022, and I think that calls for a celebration of some sort, just to thank God for the grace and for His eternal and mercy that endures forever. So yes, but that is not the point. The point is be unbreakable. As I inquired from God, God told me about Job and said, you see, Job, he was very broken on the outside. The external was very broken. And you know what? It was without a question. I mean, he was sitting next to the dustbin, even feeding from it, smelly, and all kinds of, skin diseases on him. Very poor, literally from riches to rags, and he was broken. He had lost all. And when he had lost all, but he still had his life, he was broken on the outside. And his wife came to me and said, "But why don't you just curse your God that you may die?" Because Job was formidable inside. And this is where the story begins, that you must be unbreakable, because even God, when He allowed the devil, because there's nothing that happens by chance in our lives, all that happens is what has been ordained or predestined for our lives. We know that with Job, that there was a conversation between God and the devil to go and strike Job and all his fortunes and all that. And I know that even this year, my hope, so to some degree, as I said, I can only speak about me, had been shattered completely. And my wife, I observed her, I looked at her in the eyes, and I saw that, our dreams had been shattered, because this is what this life is trying to do, to break our spirit, as we have said even in the previous video, because with a broken spirit, you are dead meat, literally. And, and that is why Jesus comes, in fact, to mend the broken, hearted and the spirits, But that is not what I'm saying. But all that I'm saying is that even with who it is, Job, he was broken on the outside, but he still had the will to live, to see another day. That is why he said, "I know that my Redeemer lives, and he shall stand last on earth, and with my own two eyes I shall see him in the flesh." Because there is a move in the latter days to destroy, to attack and dismantle all the little faith we have. In fact, we are getting persecuted and attacked for who we are. But that is why even Jesus said, "But do not worry when the world does that to you." It started by hating me first. Blessed are you, the first teachings of Jesus in Matthew chapter 5. Blessed are you, the beatitudes of Christ. Blessed are you who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, because there are tribal groups. No, not even tribal groups. There are occultic groups. No, I did not want to go that route. But there are these particular groups that thinks they got it figured out with our lives as to what should happen. And so we frustrate them when we continue to live, because they ask themselves, how is it that we still survive? How it is that we are still so peaceful? How is it that we are still so healthy? How is it that we are still so blissful? How is it that we are still, so graceful? And so they devised the means to basically just, shut us down, but I stopped that man, you know. So that is what we have seen happening. But God says, be unbreakable. And just like Job, and I mean, we have also seen it play out with Joseph in particular. Because Joseph at some stage, you know what, he was this golden child, you know. In fact, throughout, only that they did not know, because they are only attracted to opulence, you know. But because at some point he was without opulence, he was a slave. Yet he was unbreakable, and yet he had come from love. He knew the first love, and so he knew that there is nothing that can surpass the first love. So even hatred did not work, because hatred came in the latter, but in the first it was love. And so God loved us first. And I did not mean to preach. I just want to relate and project this message that is in my spirit, that says that we must be unbreakable. Yeah. And so Joseph was loved by his father, and his only mistake, his only dream, was his only fault, you know, transgression that landed him in prison as a slave, even in the hellhole that they throw us into. It is because of the dream that is displayed upon our lives. It is because of the anointing that is resting upon our lives. It is because of that they shut you down. I will do these videos, multiple number of them. I will do them every day if I can. But there are people that will deliberately, in fact, not even want to associate with it. Some of them are people that I know. They want to hang out next to me, but they cannot check out this video, because they are not ready for this message, maybe. Or maybe they're not ready to promote you, or they're not ready to like what you do, to embrace your vision. They're not ready for any of that. And so that's how we know that in this life, you know what? Yeah, well, I was not even going there. Let me just stick to the message and say, be unbreakable. You know, the word is very strong in my spirit this morning. It's telling me about Joseph, that he had the will to leave. He was formidable, even though his body, his flesh was captured, yet his spirit was free. It reminds me of the words of Bantu Bonke Biko, even when he said that even if you can capture me, but you cannot capture my mind. Be formidable, be unbreakable. You know that God is God, and that He will do it. He will do it for you. And so, speaking of my life, I've seen it in my life, and I come as a testimony to say that with the nothing that I have, you know, I still have the one thing that matters the most, and that I'm not letting go of, and I'm becoming unbreakable. And if I must pray, if I must pray for those that wants to see me, that render me breakable, those that agitate for my breakage, those that you know chant, those that agitate, you know, for my downfall, that devise. Let's say we want to see Him. I want to tell you something. I've already hit rock bottom multiple times before. What I'm going through now is nothing. In fact, it is a season of content collection. It is the testimony. It is the life experience. Some people wonder how it is that we say we pray, we are the children of God, and yet we are the ones that are seeing it all, that are suffering the most under the sun. We are the ones that are punished, that are hated the most under the sun. Don't you even wonder? There's a mismatch in all of that. There's a mismatch. Why is there even such? Because the world has a case to prove against us. And that is why God is saying, be unbreakable. Pray about it. Whatever it is, shut it down. Every voice that stands up that accuses you, everything that raises itself upon you, above you, shut it down. Hey, is it a death scare, death alarm? Shut down. Hey, is it what am I gonna eat tomorrow? Wonder, anxiety, shut down. What am I gonna wear tomorrow? No. God had already gone ahead. There's provision of everything. Be unbreakable. Speaking to my life now, it's December. I don't have money to buy Christmas clothes for my kids, but I know that even what they have is worthy. And even those shoes, if they're dirty, I will wash them myself personally. They will be shining and sparkling come Christmas. There will be peace upon our lives, upon our faces, upon our countenance, because we are unbreakable. We will be celebrating and commemorating the birth of Christ in our lives and saying, Jesus, a baby Jesus, we have come to worship, and that we pray that you may carry us throughout, that we may cross the air with you, that we must go into 2023 knowing that we do not go unless you go with us. They will never see it. They will never see it. All that they want to do is to destroy. But here we are still alive, and we thank God. So yeah, so that was the message. Be unbreakable. I like the video. If you do, share it if you can. Comment if you have the time, and just subscribe and ring that notification bell to keep you posted of all the drops that we will do, because this is where we're working now. Even this is a mission on its own, and yet I thank God that here and there I'm still able to sit behind the camera and articulate these messages. Remember, be unbreakable. Go into 2023 not scared. Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed of anything. God is able to overturn every situation, and God is able to bless those who come to him for recourse and restitution. God bless, and have a wonderful day. One love and one salute.